Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Broston County, part 7 of the city that I am building with my friend Destin. And we're up here in the hills at the moment. I was going to say a nice view out to the surrounding area, but no, I guess not, because there's another little hill right here that kind of blocks that view. So never mind. Though, that gives me an idea. Where is the land up here? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Just to expand some of this out. I like it. I wasn't planning on doing it, but I like it. So we're going to go with this level and see what we can do to connect these two sides. Oh, that is a big difference. Okay, undo that, and instead, we will use this. And we're going to get rid of that little peak right there. It's sad, but it had to go. Geology did its thing and had it there for untold millennia, and we just eliminated it in a few seconds. Yeah, master of your own domain, I guess. That's all I could think of. Just trying to follow this contour line as best I can, but I'm getting a little bit away from it, so I want to get back up here to it. There we go. It's a little better. And then we're going to get rid of this peak as well. Oh. Sorry, had to. I just wanted to see what would happen if you removed the land out from underneath what I assumed was deer. I didn't really look that close. That's probably deer. So we definitely have animal spawn points up here. So we are very close to nature living up this way. I know I talk about a lot about where I live, but there's I lived in kind of just a neighborhood that a developer clearly bought some land, built a bunch of like 4 variations of basically the same house. And we're kind of in a little cul-de-sac. It's in a little loop. And just across from it, there is one house, just a ton of land that's on rolling hills. And it sits up at the top of the hills and looks down upon us all. And the lady who lives there puts feed out for the deer, which is nice, I guess. The problem is there's a blind hill I have to come up and over. And it's right there at the edge of her property that leads to the woods, and the deer love to cross right there. So every time I go up down that hill, I always have to do 30 miles an hour to make sure that I'm not gonna smack a deer, because that would suck. So I don't know that we can bring a road up here. I mean, I guess we could, and it'd just be a pretty steep hill. Maybe we do. Maybe that's exactly what we do, is just bring a road up right there and just let it be a steep hill. I don't see why not. Speaking of the little loop I live on, let's see if we can't recreate it. So, in behind us, this is actually a lake access road. We're going to build it up in the hills. But there's a road behind us with houses on just one side. So let's get this closer to the ridge. Let's actually bring it in right here. And then just opposite all those houses, woods. In fact, speaking of deer, it's a deer reserve. And then we've got a road here. And it's like the main access road, so that may be what we just need to come down here. And it does go on off that way and where I live to the lake. I just realized I've got anarchy turned on. That's awesome. So what we'll do to get rid of those trees is just upgrade this, and then we'll turn around and downgrade it. We don't even have sidewalks where I live. It's that far outside the town. Granted, the town I live near doesn't have much in the way of sidewalks anyway. That's sad. And then our street is back here. And there's houses on this side of the street and this side of the street. And I kind of live right there. But there aren't any on this side. Instead, what you see are the backyards of the people who live here. I think I can kind of simulate that. And then this just comes up and joins the road there. Actually, it joins here. Yeah, because it comes around in a little loop, just like that, and then back out. This should probably be a little longer. Yeah, let's make that a little longer. Well, notice if I make that a little longer, then what I want to do here isn't going to work. In reality, it is really a lot longer, because there's like several houses before the turn. But then this road is way up here. Granted, the houses are, smaller in Cities Skylines. So I think I can use the... Whoops, not play it. This and prioritize newer roads. And I think that will put the zoning here. And the houses start pretty much right on this corner. There's 2 or 3 that face this road, but again, I can't quite simulate it properly unless I just give everybody big backyards. Yeah, let's just give everybody big backyards. That works for me. I would like to get it somewhat closer to what I'm basing it on. So the people who live over here they're just going to get some big backyards. What we'll do is, other than that, we'll just shorten that. But yeah, the people that are right behind us are like right behind us. We do have a fairly substantial backyard, but like my security camera can kind of see into their living room. It's kind of creepy. Security camera on my backyard, on my back porch. It's creepy. It's not my fault that there are windows there. So yeah, it would be kind of like some houses like there, and then like there, and then all down through here. And there are some on this end down here that go all the way into the edge, and then all like that, and like that, and all like that. But there are none here. And there's like a gazebo. I could place a gazebo. There is just random gazebo in our neighborhood. It was originally supposed to be like a gated community, and it was going to be bigger, and I guess the developers' plans just didn't quite work out. I don't know. But it's kind of funny that we have just a random gazebo. I am going to slope this a little bit. I'm going to go from there. Just give ourselves a little bit of a better ramp up. And we're just going to make that all local roads down. Not going to be anything else zoned on this. I'm going to come in right here. And then we'll curve here in just a moment. Yeah, I know you don't have power. You will in just a second. It does not want to snap. There we go. Cool. That kind of recreates the neighborhood I live in. I'm going to put more stuff up here. But for now, that's like my little neighborhood. Never built anything resembling anything from real life for me. Like ever. Kind of fun. Obviously not a one-to-one recreation. Not possible to do a one-to-one recreation because of the way the lots are. And you can make it look like there's big backyards, but it doesn't really do you any good. I mean, I guess that's what I could have done here, is just bring this farther up and just put a fence in. Because there's a big fence that runs all along, just the whole length. But cool, that'll get that little area built out, but we still have a lot of other area, so I am going to go ahead and continue from here on down. We're just going to make mostly a cul-de-sac. Let's bring this view back up. Gosh, this is not at all what I planned on doing. This is going to be all about highways today, and it probably still will be. I'll probably stop after I get this stuff up here on this hilltop done. And one of the highways we're going to do is actually in this area. Bring that back just a little bit. I wish that would stay selected. Oops. Bring this around like there-ish. I kind of want to bring this up here and hook into that. So let's bring this out straight just a bit. And then using this tool once again. This may be a bit trickier because of just where everything is. But we'll see what it looks like once we're done. And then I just want to make a little bit of a straight section here and then use our curved road tool to follow up on that slope that we just made. Yeah, that's fine for a slope. And then anywhere that there is room to bring off just a tiny little grid, we will. But there's not a lot of space. In fact, I think it would be better to follow the curve that's here. Kind of like that, and then bring this down in like that. There's a little bit of space over here, but I'm not going to mess with it. Same back here. I think we've got most of this filled in pretty well. We could go ahead and just bring in another little section right there. Yeah, that works. And now it is not where I live. So down here we will get some water pipes, and then we're just going to zone all this up here residential. No commercial at all. Their only commercial is down there in their little village. That is the price you pay for living out in the seclusion of nature, away from the noise and the light of town. At least that's what I keep telling myself every time I have to drive 20 or 30 minutes to just go get a bite to eat. We get to live in a nice secluded neighborhood. Trust me, it's not worth it. I'm going to go ahead and put houses there. And the houses for most of this and there. And then we'll bring them right up to this and right there as well. And then we are going to fill them in along this road. Actually, let's make sure they are no more than 4 because we know we don't have any 5x5s. So we may as well just limit them to the 4s. And just put a little gap in between these. Maybe a little bit bigger of a gap on this side since they do have the fill face inside, except I said that, and then I can get one more in if I do this. And that's what we're going to do. And then back here we'll have some smaller houses. I think I can go back. Pretty soon we're going to be back into bigger than 4x4s, so I'm just going to keep doing this. It's fine. It takes a little bit longer, but in the end it gets me more of what I want. And then we'll do that. And then on this side, we'll do a small one there. Go ahead and fill that out, that out. That one can go, that one can stop there. And stop. Let's do some 2x2s right here. There we go. And then maybe just a little house right there. Cool. And that'll get us just a decent amount of homes. I'll go ahead and zone that in. And then we could just bring a curve out, like right there, just to get a few more. I mean, we still have pretty good residential demand, so why not? That's kind of how I look at it. Let's bring this straight just a little bit and then curve. And I want to bring this up to where the homes are like right, like out their front door. They're just looking over the hill. That's not a very good junction. Let's try to make a better junction than that. That'll work. And then we need water pipes over here as well. Turn our snap 2s back off just to make it a little simpler. And connected. Cool. And then we can go ahead and do a row of homes here and then all around this corner. Whatever we get is what we get. Cool. And then we can put fences in and trees and stuff like that. Make this look really, really nice. But for now, that gets that done. We still have a lot to build down here. We still have this little town over here, this little town over here. But Garnet Heights is also going to continue on over to this way. You can see that the road already runs over in this direction, and we've got a lot of really usable land. What I want to do now is bring this 2-lane highway down and get it to kind of wind up down here to follow right to the other side of the rails here, and then right here come down and connect back in over here. So I am going to attempt to do that. I am probably going to have to stop and delete things several times, so I think we will just speed up the footage for this one and do it like that. And I think for the most part, I'm good with this. You can see there's already a few cars using this, which is kind of cool. They live way over there. They work over there, and for some reason they're up here. Maybe they're just out. They're driving to a parking spot. Really? I'm curious. Let's just find out what this parking spot is. Well, the parking spot wasn't anywhere up here in the mountains, or the hillside. So I'm not really sure why this was the chosen route. There's a lot of traffic using this little highway. I'm really, really happy to see it. But yeah, I have no idea where they're going. So we're just gonna pretend that nothing happened. So yeah, we've got a nice switchback back here, a little bit of a switchback here, but this hill is a little bit gentler to work with. I haven't checked any of our slopes though, and I'm kind of scared to do it, to be honest. So let's see, if we go from here where we know it's flat, actually it should be flat all through this curve. So if we go from there to up here, 8, an 8, a 10. You know what? I might be able to... Ooh, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. But that's okay, because we can come through here with the train tool, I think, and make this alright. If we just follow the road. I mean, roads do get carved out of hills, and you can see where it happens. I know... When I lived near Branson, Missouri, man, and they did a lot of highway projects, especially on Highway 65, where it was just like a little 2-lane road like this, and they upgraded it to 4 and even 6 lanes in some places. Man, they did not try to hide the areas where they blasted through some hills to widen the highway, and in some cases even relocate the highway somewhat. I think I'm all right with that. That's a lot better. This is clearly going to be a big one as well. So let's go from like here to there. Ooh, 15, 17. Yeah, that raised that up significantly, but what we could do in these areas where it's really raised up is, instead of having it be on the ground, make it a bridge. Yeah, that's mod. I'll turn that off. This nice little bridge segment. Up and over that. I don't know that right there needs to be a bridge. Maybe. We'll see. See what we can do with the terrain here. No, I'm fine with that. That looks fine. And then most of this is okay. I bet right here is probably a bit of a challenge, though. And since, there would be a lot of trucks driving up here for deliveries, and I've got a few challenges there. That's still are still pretty steep. I don't want to go much beyond like right here because I want this to stay level with the railroad tracks that are right there. 5.6 is pushing it, but I'll live with it. But we are going to do the same solution here of elevating this into a bridge. I just think that makes a lot more sense than doing this type of thing with the train. And honestly, that bridge could be a lot straighter, but oh well. It's there now and can't ever change. We know that for sure. So yeah, looking pretty doggone good. So we can come over here and check the high school, make sure the trees hadn't changed again. A little paranoid about that ever since it happened. So good. Good. We've got room for a little community down here. We could even maybe tack some things on back here, but that's really close to that. We're definitely going to wind up doing some stuff with this space over here. We're going to have eventually a highway connection over here, or maybe right here, with a whole other town here. And I'm thinking maybe a nature reserve up on that little hill. Here will be a bit of a challenge just to find a way over. It may have to come off of this and then bridge across off of that. I don't really know. But the next big thing that we're going to do today, and we will probably do most of it with the footage sped up. But first, I am impressed with the number of people who are actually using this. That makes me happy. That makes me very, very happy. It just a ton of different. How much traffic do we have going up and down this thing? Quite a bit, and they're coming down, going across, going through town, coming out here, getting on the highway. And that's something I would eventually like to do is, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking go ahead and make this a bridge, is I would eventually like to maybe get a connection over to here. My brain hasn't come up with a solution of how to do that just yet. But I think there would be some definite merit into getting a connection to over to there. I am going to do my best to get a road across this, though I don't know how that's really going to work out. So I want to get a harbor in, maybe back here, maybe some fishing boats, or maybe the harbor up here and some fishing boats back here. I haven't really decided yet. Our really profitable fish are all out here, so maybe we could just like square this off and do fishing harbors there. But that's all a problem for future Brandon. Right now, Brandon has problems of his own. Namely, where do I put an interchange at over here? This highway is right against the mountain. It's kind of the same situation we ran into over here. So maybe we can utilize this same interchange because it worked fairly well going up into the hillside. And I want to come across, I'd like to do it like way down here because that would kind of have the highway going in the direction I want to go. Essentially what I want to do is have a highway that connects off of here, comes over to here right up against this hillside, follows this hillside all the way around and dumps out over here to give us access to this side nicely, and also another way in and out for industry. Because we are going to take this road and we're not going to tunnel, but we are going to go under the railroad right here. And maybe even one or two other roads will do that. I don't know. Maybe this one will come under, though then we're really close to the water there. Hard to say, but I don't want to cul-de-sac it with just one connection here. That's why I think the highway is important. That's why I also think some connectivity off of this is important. So let me look at this and see. I'm pretty sure, even though it's going to require a longer highway, that here is my best bet. I could go here because that's kind of pointing in the direction I want to go. But then that doesn't leave me a whole lot of room to turn after coming across with a bridge. Whereas over here, I've got way more room to turn if we're using a bridge. I guess we could just come off here and just build across, even though that's not going to diagonal or straight across the river. It's going more to diagonal. Yeah, let's do it here. We've got a lot that we've got to do, though, so I am going to pause the game, and we've got to work with the railroad tracks as well as get this interchange in and make it look nice. So, again, I'm going to speed things up and build this so that we can get it done in a timely fashion. And that gives us an excuse me, a nice highway, 2-lane each way, divided highway, all the way back here. It's not really a bypass because it doesn't bypass anything. Though it will eventually bypass because I'm foreseeing the city proper going all the way out to these banks and all the way over here. So it is like it'd be kind of like the outer border of the city. So I like it. I think it's going to serve our purposes very, very well. And so the last thing I want to do before we wrap it up today is come in here, turn Anarchy back on, and elevate the railroad right there and right there. But leave them where they are at grade. And then we're going to come in with this. We're going to make sure it stays on the ground. And we're going to bring it under the railroad. I just don't want it to become a tunnel. So we're going to run that all the way to right there. And we're going to probably go down 10 meters. And then go under and then back up to there. And I know that that looks atrocious right now, but fixable. And we don't really need the railroad to be as bridged as I have it. So let's see if we can't make that slope a little bit more palatable. It's always going to be steep, but 8%. Yay, have fun. There's my sympathy for the trucks. Have fun. So it's this 10%. Yeah, it's kind of what I figured it would be pretty bad. I don't know that this needs to be quite as low as I have it. It seems like that's pretty significant drop there. So instead, let's bring these 3 nodes that are all even up just a little bit and kind of eyeball this here. It'd be nice if there was a destination over here so we could try to force some trucks to actually come through here. But that should have softened both of those slopes a little bit. This one to this one is now 7.4. Yeah, that's fine. And this one to this one still an 8.8, and it does nothing because there's nothing there. So let's use move it real quick, and let's see where our nodes are on the railroad. So I've got one right there, one right there, one right there. So I'm going to move this one up to about there. I'm going to move that one back to about there. And over here, that one's pretty good. And that one's pretty good. So I can now come back into this and put these bits back on the ground. And we've only bridged where we really need to. Yeah, that works. And that will get us some connectivity over to here. I'm envisioning moving the industrial over to here, redoing some of these rail lines that are over here, getting rid of this weird interchange that we've had forever, because I've never really cared for it. But I would like to maybe bring this up and in to where these join into just one instead of being two, and that would be a good place for a harbor, I think. Right there, even though, what population do we have to get that cargo harbor? It's 46,000, so we're still quite a bit of ways from that. But we have some lovely, lovely homes up here. Needs some detailing. No doubt it needs, some love. One thing I will do, I'm not going to get too into the weeds with detailing, but I will bring in a fence, maybe? Can I have that line there? I don't want that line there. I want that line there. So let's turn off grid. Nope. Now let's turn off grid. There we go. And just bring that straight back like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then these folks have some fairly significantly large yards back here, which I am totally okay with. Actually, that's what I was afraid of, is if I did that, it would get rid of it. But I can do this maybe. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then we could get into details of giving everybody a set yard and just having some separation between each house. You know what? I like that idea. And we can also do a couple different size lots that way. Yeah, I like this idea a lot. And there. So huge backyards for all of those folks. These guys, not so much. And then this will just be green. That's what it is. It's just green space. There's a few little trees. I think there's like one big oak right by by the gazebo, like literally like right there. There's a tree, and that's it. The rest of it's just open except for trees in people's backyards. But we'll either detail in a live stream soon or let Destin do some detailing. I'm kind of curious to see his detailing work. Also, I've left a little area here to see if he wants to try his hand at a downtown, or not a downtown, but a kind of a rural plaza that kind of signifies the courthouse. If he doesn't do it, I'll do it. I'll get around to it. But I like it. I like how our state highway is the road that just goes to the town as Main Street and goes through this town as Main Street. I guess this is still the same town, just a separate part of it. But it goes through Park Hills and Linden Hills. Again, Garnet Heights, Linden Hills, Park Hills, all this stuff. The farm, all the different districts, they all need names. So feel free to make a suggestion. You know what we could do? I might be able to get, just for the sake of the outro, we might be able to get somebody to drive down this highway. I'm going to try it. I'm going to make a connection here that I will then probably later destroy after the video. This is literally just to see if we can get somebody to drive down here. So I'm going to give this a second, see if we can't get a car to decide that's the way they want to leave town. So I'd kind of like to go on a little drive for the outro. So I came all the way down to this end, thinking that maybe we would get lucky if somebody wanted to go into town. And there's just nothing down there yet. But that doesn't mean we can't make traffic go that way. We're just going to delete this for a minute. And you go there. We're going to pause. You go there. And you go there. We're going to pick our very first car. And go into first person. And that didn't work. Why not? Why did that not work? That totally should have worked, right? Will you go that way? There we go. We've got one. We've got it. So we can enjoy a drive along our brand new highway. That's kind of an overkill bridge. I think we may have to change that. But I hope you enjoy the little outro video. Oh, we picked the slow car. Yikes. And we'll turn this over to Destin, see where he decides to go next, whether up in the hills, or if he decides to maybe start another new little town somewhere else. My gosh, this is a gorgeous drive. Yeah, I can't wait to build some stuff out here and absolutely ruin that view. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.